Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. What is pointed out in Satsang, it is not what is seen or perceived. It is pointing to the seer, which cannot be seen. That's why eventually we say, I am the seer. But it cannot be perceived. Otherwise it is again an expression, a creation of what is. So that can be struck or can be taken at once, suddenly, often after having tried so many things. Once you have been, how to say, in awe, total awe of just that fact of being, life continues. Generally speaking, life continues. Don't put the event in the memory, just make it alive by giving a moment to it here and there in the life. Because that will makes disappear the search of the meaning of life, what's what, and all about those questions which are answered generally by religion or philosophies. Here it's a fact for you, for yourself. In that way, it's extremely precious. Any question? Anything you want to say? Sorry. Feel free. It is your space, my space. Take this opportunity to not to be tyrannized by the mind. Yes, please.
Good morning.
Good one.
I have something I would like to place right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know I'm gonna speak now about my life and me as the person. I just.
Yeah.
So, a few days ago, I suddenly saw that my whole sense of identity was based on my character and a very strong sense of a quality to that character. And it was like, because I saw it, I questioned it.
Yeah.
And then it was quite painful to look at it, because it was like I didn't have any idea of what was going to bring meaning to my life if I removed that quality.
Yeah.
And that just like left me a little bit shaken, in that sense that I actually felt quite sure of my personality, let's say, or my identity.
Yeah.
But suddenly it was like there was a confusion about actually what is what, and why this was so much shaking me. And
Yes.
it seemed like I couldn't replace it by anything.
Sure. That's the point.
and
But you replaced it by a feeling of fear or of you don't know what. And then what?
yeah,
You
exactly.
listen to that.
Yeah,
If you don't listen to your strong personality because you question it, it means you question whatever rises at that time. So if it is replaced by then what? I don't know if it is a good way to
yeah.
say
No,
what happens to you.
it makes
You
it
should
was like
not,
that.
you have to question that. It's an expression, it's something you can describe.
Yeah,
And it's all about who is seeing that. But we start objectifying it. So who is seeing that, you just have to remain where you always have been. So that's not a replacement, it was always there. But it's not objectified. And when it is objectified, then it's a form, it's a limited something.
yeah,
Where are you now?
yeah. What you just said made me think it didn't actually change anything, but it did. Or like this is maybe a weird way to say it, but it's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Tell?
it something was
Yeah. Taken.
was just, yeah, and it was like it's gone, but it's still the same. Or yeah, I don't know how I cannot express it better.
It's gone, it's still the same when it reappears, but you know now that what you thought, I don't know, I am just trying to understand, what you thought was something continuous or real,
Yeah,
you know that it has a changing nature. It goes on changing, it can disappear, it can reappear.
yeah,
Good. So what remains when you can see that, when this happens, that's what you are. And don't try, otherwise you create against you, your personality to look at it and to figure it out. That's what's left when you question that, even if it reappears, but not in the same way just now. It's what you are. It's what made you search, because when you searched, for example, happiness, joy, love, or peace, you always gave a cause or you search for a cause. Now you have seen my search continues, so it's not through any cause.
yeah,
And now I know myself, or at least I have seen I still remain somewhere I cannot objectify. This is the answer of your search. And everything reappears. Yeah. Now, everything reappears, but is the search also reappearing?
it it seems like I see very clearly that the search was always meaning, and I didn't see that clear before. Like that, it was really the base of everything. Also,
Okay.
so what is the meaning of my life? What is the purpose? What
Yeah.
is how can I justify my existence?
Yeah.
And all of that
Yeah.
together, and it was like
Yeah.
I knew that before, but I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
So I see that very clear now.
Okay. What is seen is seen.
Yeah,
So you are the seer,
yeah,
and there is nothing to do here. You are the seer. So the search can go now. The search for the meanings and all those things can leave you. Because you know very well the search will not be fulfilled somewhere else.
yeah,
It was to that it's self-acknowledged in you. What is self-acknowledged in you. You cannot confuse it now with something you can question. Oh. And that's always available when you are not busy with your mind. So, in that way, I repeat always Master's saying, be vigilant up to the rest of your life, up to your last breath, to make it alive, so that it's not only a memory which can fade away. So give a moment not to be in your mind, here and there. And it's enough, because now you don't search who you are. You are it. Mm.
thank you.
The mind is the mind, and when it reappears, you will go to the left, to the east, to the north, whatever direction. But now you also know how precious it is just not to be all the time busy with the mind. That's all.
I realized that I almost only give permission for myself to do that when I'm in satsang. So the most of my life, or
Yeah,
I can say the rest,
yeah,
I don't give permission to
yeah,
myself, and I keep busy, and I feel
yeah,
always responsible to do something for me or others.
yeah. The life is like this.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I give satsang. To give oneself, I include myself, a time to that. And on top, sometimes you can do it also in your life. But I know it's very difficult because life makes you very busy, and as a particularity to make you uh, forget that it's precious to give a moment to from where it comes from. But give satsang to yourself. Here it's a bit easier. Yes. But no, be aware that may be precious to not to wait only 2 times a week for satsang.
I know.
It doesn't take time. This is the amazing, scandalous thing. It's so difficult, but it doesn't take time.
Okay, maybe it's totally unnecessary, but it keeps me occupied, so I ask. It feels as if, like, it's so unfair that this is what I want, but for this, I don't give permission, and for everything else, like the mind wants me to be occupied.
This is the drama
And
of
it's like,
human
it's
being.
so unfair.
It's the life you got. You didn't apparently get a life of a sadhu or of a monk. So it's the life you get.
I know, it feels like it's the life I chose.
Yeah.
And
Or
and
which
it
came
feels
to
that,
you.
yeah, there's always a choice if I now give permission and be in satsang, or I'm busy with the things to do. And I feel, yeah, I'm somehow now questioning, why is it so difficult to give permission? Yeah, but it's just maybe not necessary.
Maybe it will not be difficult. It's not difficult. It's just that you are taken by movements. It's not difficult. Once you don't search, once you know that it's not being in the movement that you will have the obviousness of being. Let's say like that. Which is, I think, the only no place where there is peace. You see, it can be, once upon a time, it was with the search very important to solve that search. Very important, more than the life at some point. Then you have been freed eventually by the search, from the search, and then life reappears, and we know what's life. That's why Papaji said, be vigilant up to your last breath. Otherwise, why should you say that? Even if you have known yourself, know how precious it is. Remember how precious it is to just make it alive, even a split second. You don't search anymore for it because you saw, not with the eyes, it's a way to say. Still, how precious it is. That it's breathing in your life. It asks only a split second. So Satsang offers that, and anywhere, wherever you have a love for it or you have a need for it, give space to that.
Thank you.
Guten Morgen, Ganga.
Hi.
Ja. I mean, after a small pause, I came here today because I wanted to see what it does to me to come here. I feel that somehow I burned all my fuel. The seeker burned all his fuel. So I cannot go an inch, I mean, not much into any direction.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't look so much for self-realization anymore because of that. I most of the time I look for money.
In life it's better, yes.
Yes, yes. So there's no, it feels like,
But
a dead seeker somehow, who,
a dead seeker.
yes, who,
But why do you carry it?
Sorry?
Why do you carry it?
No, yeah. He did, and he undid everything he could imagine.
Sure.
And then got frustrated by fake enlightenments.
Sure.
And
So now the seeker is dead, or just he keeps quiet? There was never a seeker, it was in the imagination, isn't it? There is nothing like self-realization. That's why you said very well, you attained so many fake, and because it was somebody attaining it. So just let go of all that story.
yeah, sometimes there's one of the sentences of a book of Nisargadatta crosses my mind when he must have said, who knows, but it's written in this book that one in 10 million will understand.
Yeah.
So it.
Ah.
Yeah.
I guess he included the myriads of years of the mankind.
Hopefully, he meant that.
Sure. Your fire has to reject everything. Even if that becomes an obstacle, that sentence, throw it. What we speak about is that you are that whatever sentence is said.
Sorry again.
Whatever sentence is expressed, you are it anyway. So don't be impressed by anything now. Let it come from the great ones. It was to help you. But if you don't need help anymore, just keep quiet in yourself and don't pick up on any other sentence. If I repeat a sentence of my master, for example, because I would say exactly the same. But as it doesn't come from me, I say that. But if it is not coming from myself, I am not going to repeat those sentences. And this one, surely I don't do. I have learned, they are not even 5 on these fingers. It's true that it's quite rare that someone really wants to know what they mean by being and all that, because everybody prefers, and it's human, to have a well-being in life. And often we start our search like this. But everybody is that. And it can come at any time to be struck by that. And it's amazing because you don't need special qualities for that. You see, you don't need to be a saint. You don't need to, I don't know, to work, to transform yourself and all that.
This was this was exactly what was attracting me from the beginning.
Yeah.
Before I was just esoteric and
Yeah.
spiritual and meditated and did
Sure.
pranayama and shamanism. And then in satsang it was told that there are no qualities needed. You are
Yeah.
no guna.
Yeah,
Free
exactly.
from everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take time and there's no progress and no process to it. This is what was
Yeah.
this was clicking. This is why
Yeah.
I
So
I
let
ended
that
up here. Yeah.
let that click be alive today. You see, that's why I say, now you will appreciate. Be vigilant. You had a pause. You were more busy with life. Of course, it happens like this, but it doesn't mean you cannot spare a split second to be vigilant to what is, to what allows all this manifestation. You understand? Because the mind can create new so-called interests, like this sentence now. It fits because you feel, oh yeah, it's true. That's why I'm not one of those selected ones.
When I hear this word, this expression, a split second, it's just what I make out of it. No, but to me, this split second is Mount Everest, which I can't climb. It's too high. Somehow it became big in my structure.
Yeah, that's why be vigilant. Be more in contact with what you are. Don't allow months to pass. Be vigilant. Today you are.
Yes, Ganga. I heard a few, like, let's say, spiritual teacher who said that there is a before and after. They can even say that happened such a day. Such
Yeah,
year, and
sure.
such
All
a
the
place.
books have that testimony, yeah.
And so I can understand that after that there is no. We don't need to move to be any more vigilant. Or
Who said that?
I heard that many times. I mean,
I listen only to my master, who said to be vigilant.
Yeah,
So I don't know about what they say. I will not think about that.
Yeah. So no, but so I don't know what to say anymore. No, it's confusing for people like me. For example, when somebody says that there is a before and after. So what does that mean?
Yes, you know what it means, I will tell you. Me too, I can say, oh, Papaji's was passing away, and at that very moment, listen, the words I will use are purposely used. I had an experience of enlightenment, means in my history of a seeker, suddenly it stopped. It stopped by the event of Papaji's departure from me, and the seeker I was disappeared. So it's an event I can describe. Now, my luck, because I heard it all the time I was in the company of the guide, that very moment I didn't confuse that experience of disappearance for what was seen. And what was seen means realize, nobody knows how to express that, is that what I am has always and is always here. So that is the what is expressed by being. It's not the experience which happened that day, etc., that time, which are all in the books. That experience may not happen again, or sometimes as an experience can still. But what you have seen, what you are at that time, that's not belonging to you. That's why it is not, accomplished by someone, which is all the time there. It's all the time there when you are not in your mind. Alive it is. But that's the life of that one. Afterwards, he will have his life with movements of the mind, and he will be vigilant, or he will be just taken to have a split second of nothingness, the mind expressed this way, or beingness. And that's it. Where a question here can arise, to search what after all this? If there is search, it's in the world, which is very natural, but not this ontological search that was there before. Did I clear up something or not? Otherwise, ask more.
I think it's not fully clear for me because, how can I say? I still don't understand. I mean, the mind try to understand what could happen this special at this special moment to stop the search. Let's say.
It's no more happening. You just see an obvious thing which was always there, and it's not to be seen. Well, the best I can say, maybe some other will express differently, is I saw that I am what I was searching has always been there. But what was not making it obvious is that I was in my mind. That became obvious, that's all. And that was enough for my life. No, I don't want to make it a memory. I cannot, if I make a memory, I fix it in a certain way, in those absolute ways and whatnot. It's alive just now. But I don't need the event of enlightenment now for it.
Okay, thanks. I stay with that for now.
Yeah, and if something comes more, you tell.
Okay.
It's good to clear up.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Ganga. The thing that's coming up for me listening to people talk, and I feel like my life has been very, like a lot of things happening, a lot of difficult things, a lot of challenging things, and it almost really just pushed me into wanting to know more and healing and awakening, I guess, seeing things, growing,
And it felt like, just a constant push, which was good in ways, as challenging as it was. And then 6 years ago, I was given a diagnosis that pushed, it wasn't even a push, it was just a relaxing into the opportunity of like one big long satsang. Is really, now that listening to you talk about satsang, I was like, oh, that's what that was. One big long months of satsang while I did some healing with my diagnosis. And ever since then, things have been very, very calm.
Yeah.
And I think I feel a little disoriented as to, like, like, how do I take that and also be in the world? Like, I feel kind of like I'm in between in this liminal space of my experience and that one long satsang. That was perfect. There's this one big long satsang that I had while I had my diagnosis, and I was healing and I was doing treatments, and I wasn't really so much like in the work world, and I stepped out. I was raising my kids, but I stepped out of that like busy sort of survival world and went into just this expansion. And now I feel sort of disconnected to the world of like doing and working and making things happen. And I think I'm having a hard time integrating, if that makes sense.
But what do you mean when you say I was a long time in satsang? What do you mean by
So
that?
when I was diagnosed with cancer cells in my breast.
Yeah.
So I just had this like long time where I stepped away and I was with the earth every day and fell
You
in
call
love.
that satsang?
Yeah.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
I didn't know what
It was
you
my
meant.
own personal satsang with the
Okay,
earth and with
sure.
the water and the earth and the trees. And I fell in love in a way that I've never fallen in love.
Sure, I understand that.
And I feel like I just want to live there, and I'm having a difficult time taking that experience or that time into
in the
the
busy
world,
life, into
right?
the busy life.
And I almost feel like, my question is like everything feels calmer, and I'm feeling disconnected, and I'm not sure if I'm connected or disconnected because everything before that was just so dramatic and intense, and things feel calmer, and I feel disconnected often.
Well, but how you have to see what remains that you really want to live or to experience, or you must have an ideal. Maybe I would like to live this way. Or I don't know. You must have some idea that you want to fulfill or not. I just ask.
A little bit, not specifically, but it's a feeling of how I want to live.
But what do you still have a question which is a question which is not answered? You spoke of this connection, so your question is how to be connected. But to what? What do you really? What is the motor of your search in life? Today, I speak of today now. Do you see there is a real meaning somewhere and I want to reach that or to live in a certain way? Or do you ask yourself, who am I? Or I don't know. I give you a few ideas to just to be more clear about what you search now. I speak of now.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of grief of having that experience, that being so connected, and then the
So you would like to live more shamanically in a way. And why don't you allow yourself to do so? You could eventually. If it is that fulfilled you, that was great for you, go for it. But it disappears. You had that experience and then it disappears. Is it?
not completely, no.
Yeah, but enough to not to be happy anymore.
Not fully, no.
Yeah, it's fading away. So I would, to solve the problems of trying to, or believing that an experience will last, I would ask, but who is experiencing that? Who is believing that? So tell me who. Who is busy with this question just now?
I don't know. My
Okay?
head.
I don't know, but it is I.
Yeah.
I am busy with that, and I can be a bit confused. I may not be confused. So it's always I. And this I, you identified with your story. This I is the one who is born and had a certain story. You agree with that? So now it becomes something known. From where can you speak like that? From where? Maybe you can give moments, split second to that, to quieten the whole thing maybe, or to put things into place. Hmm? Good. Yeah. So apparently you went to many satsangs and a life like this of search. So what made you go to satsang? Which kind of search?
I think recently I did realize that it was maybe maybe a search for a well-being or for
Yeah.
stopping confusion, for stopping.
Okay. Okay. So you go for it now, or you change your search?
I think both are present. It's like there is a spiritual search for sure.
And how do you express that spiritual search?
Recent, it's more about the existence of a me. I mean, somewhere. So
Mm-hmm.
it looks to have a like a progressive awakening. I would say about
Mm-hmm.
day after day, I just realized that the me doesn't really exist as people said. I mean, the quality can be such one day and could disappear the next
That's
day.
right. It's a good observation. So from where do you observe that?
I would say mostly it's a mind observation, but also a general observation, I would say.
The mind observes, but from where do you see that?
From behind that, I would say. Just
From?
it's more.
If you answer, you are in the mind.
Yeah.
And yet you can answer me, not being in the mind. From where do you see the mind is such?
Yeah, probably. I would say from some place.
No. If you answer me, it's in the mind.
So I stay quiet.
Ah.
I don't speak anymore.
Ah. Yes.
Yeah, I guess there is a trick there.
Yes. From there, yeah. And Satsang is trying to point at that. All the rest are mind's achievements or preoccupations, sure.
Could we say, at the end of the day, could we say that what we really are is unknowable, or
you cannot know it?
Yeah.
Sure.
But
you are it.
Yeah.
You are it.
So it's a complete mystery, so we just have to leave it the way it is.
Don't say it's a mystery. You are it.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm a little bit nervous. This is my first satsang. But I felt like I'm just gonna jump in, I'm gonna ask.
Sure, of course.
Confession. Search for the partner of life. I living this a lot, and I'm quite uncomfortable with myself. So I see it as a natural wish to have a partner.
Yeah.
But in another way, I live in it in a very toxic way. Like really want to grasp or look for someone. And I understand that it's a wish for me. But I don't know how to deal with it in a healthy way.
Nor me. You asked me something in the life. You know, everybody has his own madness or wisdom in the life. It's very relative suggestions one can give. You can be helped also by healing or therapy if it is a repetitively toxic something as you feel. It's why not, you know, you have to also to give yourself this help. I don't know if I am of any help, but I know that in fact all this search for love, for the right companion, for example, you have to go for it since it's important, but it also shows it's an limited expression actually for another search, which is, but in fact, from where all this comes from. Who am I? Who am I in fact? Because now you are busy to try to fix the one you think you are, and it's very natural, sure. And go for it, as I explained. Do it. Why not be helped in that way? But since you came to Satsang, I just show you also that any search in the world can be fulfilled if successful, or you are a loser also. But you see, any attainment you have in time fades away or goes on changing. That is the law of this creation. So the deep unsatisfaction may remain. And there is a direction which can be given to that deep unsatisfaction. It is, but who am I in fact? The I know, who searches compassion, who searches for someone. Who is this I? But I just leave it like this and do what is important for you first. And anyway, maybe some seeds here and there are also planted, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
The human has a natural fear of death, you see, which is not often expressed maybe, but which he will experience all the time in the life, because things go on changing. They lose the shape we loved maybe, and so on. So that can be solved, but first one has to try the way he thinks in the world. And if he is not yet satisfied, then it may make sense to ask, after all, I'm searching about, is there anything else in this apparent world where I am subject to all the changes, all the ideas and beliefs? So there is a search which is called know yourself, actually. Who are you? But not in the sense you know, because that you already experienced, and it may have worked or not. But if it doesn't work, then it makes sense. Who am I, in fact? And the answer to this question will not be into an action or an accomplishment or a belief or a faith. It will be when I give up all what I know from myself, and let's see what remains. And what remains surely is not personal. Whatever you keep, you will lose, you see. I have faith, for example. An event can make you lose your faith. Or I believe in this, that. Everything is subject to disappear or change. So if you base your happiness on that, you will know unhappiness also, suffering. So So it's a blessing to know that there is something that nobody can capture, and that's not touched by time and space. It's just obvious when we are not busy with the mind. Not so. Any question left? Yes. I don't know where I look, but you want you want you want to speak? Oops.
Yeah, yeah. So, no, I just want to give you all this circus in my head, and yeah, it's the clown inside, really the complete circus, really from clown until evil and all. So just the mind fuck, really, all and all. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. I just really want to give you this all on your. Or I'm
You are very
feet and
kind, I
all.
must say. Your gratitude is great to give me all
Yeah.
But listen,
Yes.
listen, that you give it to me or that you keep it there, it's exactly the same. What appears is what appears.
Yeah.
Don't confuse yourself. Okay, you look, okay.
Mm.
The world appears, duality appears, evil and God,
Yeah.
all appears.
Yes.
Okay? So, did you hear anything else in case you ever came to satsang just to make you, I don't say at peace, but at least you say it. So it's not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see that?
Yes. Yes.
Ah, that's where I was looking at.
Yeah.
That will not change. But it's your birthright to give some time not to look at it.
Not to look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your birthright.
Yeah. And you said
But
once also if there is an attraction also to it, so that yeah, the eye is looking then at it, so that
the eyes, yeah.
yeah, the eyes, yeah, yeah. Or I mean, inside the attraction in the circus, and so sometimes it's yeah.
It's your birthright to leave it aside for a split second.
I think that it does it, so it's like that, but sometimes the circus is really strong and then
Sometimes, all the time, you mean?
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
time, of course it is strong. And sometimes not, but sure. Then what do you think? Heaven and hell.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
then don't
totally.
think it will be always heaven.
Yeah. But so the eye is really also so at the edge, so that I really see. I mean, it's really a big show, or this is the.
What do you want to tell me?
It's a good question. Yeah.
I just repeat, it's your birthright to keep a moment free. That's all I say. I didn't promise that this manifestation will change. Never.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now it's kind of obvious, this underlying emptiness under all the things. But I can tell that in the past I had a fear of this emptiness. Now I can see it in another color, and I know it's still too much to give it a color.
Good.
What I wanted to say with this, just set me free of this difference.
Yeah, it's just that you look, you see? So the colors, it's good. Now you are maybe at peace with what you look. But you, even that much, to make it's what you are, you don't even need to look. It's what you are. And no, okay, I can look. I myself have enjoyment sometimes just to see, but I know it's an enjoyment in this world. I don't confuse myself for what I see.
Vigilance is to look at this emptiness.
No, it's to be. I am it. If it depends on you looking, then when you die, yeah, sure. But when you sleep, then what? It doesn't depend on you, on your look. Just be. Just be it, and for that don't look. But it's split second in time. Allow yourself not to look. Now a thought comes, emptiness. Okay, a thought comes, emptiness. But in fact, it's not what I am. It's a description, a limited description. That's the enjoyment, you see. Now I know I'm not with my mind. Good, I enjoy it. But of course, since since I express that, the mind will come back also. But it's once you know what is, the life will become like this. You don't think that one experience is more real than another. Though it may be true. Emptiness, it's an aspect of it. As this is an aspect of it. So that's why it's important to give a split second to, I say, the obviousness of it, because suddenly a thought will come and say, oh, it's obvious. I'm not all this. I am. Not to allow confusion to grab you again. That's the thing. This expression is there, you see, I am. It's just to, because there is no other means to show how intimate it is, even the fear and all that is far away. You have to catch it, you see. So what I am is so intimate than any thought, any feeling, any sense. Everything else which can be uttered or seen or felt or experienced is afterwards, in time.
I have a question that I was afraid of asking because I didn't want to sound silly, but that doesn't seem like a good reason to not ask.
Doesn't matter.
Which is how to pair intentionality with the sort of essential being that we're talking about and experiencing, like how to move through your community and through your life and through your being with like a desire for intentionality and for putting yourself.
I think you just give moments to what you are, and that will be more powerful than the rest. And it works in ways we never imagined anyway. What to say? I give an example of a classic Ramana Maharishi. He didn't think of a certain way to live, to express being. He just gave space to being. And the rest is not in your hands. Thank you very much.